Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Real Reds Talk, an authentic football fan channel made in Manchester. We've got a preview today for Ruben Amorim's first home game in the Premier League. Now, lads, Bodo Glimt was a decent result. Had to bring it from behind, and there was a couple of questionable things, whether you want to talk about the system or certain individuals, and there's certainly still some teething issues, Shreyas. So when we talk about a Sean Dyche's Everton, who can make things a bit stodgy, a bit tricky, a bit difficult, are you expecting the game to play out like that?
Yeah, of course. I think they'll try to be, imposing their physical dominance in the game. They'll try to get stuck in, and they'll take advantage of the fact that United at certain moments are a bit soft, and in certain channels, especially on that left hand flank, United can be very vulnerable. So I think they will try their level best with Dwight McNeil at times as well to occupy those half spaces and cause as many issues. And hopefully, Amorim can actually see I'm sure that he's identified those problems as well in the team. So to tackle that, maybe we'll be seeing a bit different version of the kind of partnerships that we've been seeing in the past few games. But apart from that, I'm sure that on that left hand side, Everton will try as much as they can to create as many goals for us.
Yeah, I think, in speaking of creative players, Sam, I think we're going to need the main creatives in this team to break down an Everton team, considering how they set up, how structurally organised they are, how much they can irritate an opposition, because they don't concede many goals despite the results that they have. So based on that, where do you play your likes of Bruno Fernandes, Ahmad, these kind of guys?
It seems like Bruno's being played in that deeper 8 position, doesn't it? That's where he's played the most in the last couple of games. His pass completion yesterday was I think in the 90% now, 90% range, which is very unusual for him. If you look at when he plays in the 10, he's a lot of Hollywood balls, a lot of passes he's trying to make that don't come off. Whereas in deeper 8, his first thing he wants to do is sort of go back or go sideways, which is interesting, which is kind of like Scott McTominay got criticised a lot for. So I think Bruno probably played a deeper role. I think eventually I think Ruben Amorim probably wants Kobbie Mainoo in one of those 10 positions because he hasn't played him yet. And I think he's waiting for him to be 100% fit. So I could well see at some point the rotation of those two number 10s being Ahmad, Mount, Kobbie Mainoo, and then maybe Garnacho, because he seems to be insisting on that, even though I don't think he works in that position. But I expect to see more rotation. We saw a rotation after his first game, and we're probably going to see another rotation again in this game because he seems to be talking about workloads and players and stuff like that. So I expect to see probably several different players in several different positions on Sunday.
Yeah, a lot of it's almost like he's trying to find certain players in form. Shreyas, like he's tweaking the team quite a lot. There was heavy rotation against Bodo. Is he going to go as heavy the other way and then rotate as much again? And also, I touched on Everton, their defensive record, haven't conceded in the last 2 games. So Rasmus is almost coming into form at the right time.
Yeah, I think when it comes to rotations, I'm not expecting a lot because I think that the team that featured against Bodo Glimt is a bit closer, I would say, to our strongest 11 at the moment with the players that we've got at our disposal. And I think in comparison to the game that we had against Ipswich, the midfield looked a bit more better in comparison to having players like Casemiro and Eriksen actually featuring in there. I think it was much better seeing Ugarte there. It was much better seeing the likes of Bruno in there as well. So I think along similar lines, I think maybe a couple of changes at max. Maybe we see Ahmad coming back into the team for Anthony. Maybe Ahmad gets played in an advanced role. Maybe Mount still keeps his position and starts in that number 10 again. So there are some very good options for Amorim to actually choose from. But yes, for sure that Rasmus coming back into form at this moment is perhaps the best thing that you would want, because that's pretty much always been the case that whenever you find Højlund around the box rather than finding him on the halfway line, if you find him around the box, that's where he's the most effective. And we saw glimpses of it during the match against Bodo. And if we can replicate that against Everton as well, get him on the ball in and around the box, when it comes to his conversion rate, it's probably one of the best that we've got at the club, because he doesn't really get as many opportunities to score. The ones that he gets, he converts most of them. So I'm hoping that he can carry on this form into the Everton game and the fixtures coming up ahead, because when it comes to our goal scoring outlet, he's probably the only one you can look at and go, maybe this guy can turn out to be that answer that we've been searching for the past few seasons when it comes to that goal scoring output.
I just think goals, just even if you get one in this game, because I think it's going to be so dry and so hard to come by. I think you're going to need your shooting boots in this because you might not get as many opportunities as you think. And in order to pick up these points, obviously all these players that we spoke about have to have a good performance, but also teams around us, Sam. I think you've got Crystal Palace who are playing Newcastle, who've just lost to West Ham at home, which is a major surprise. You've got West Ham playing Arsenal, could be a potential banana skin there, who knows? Chelsea playing Villa, Tottenham playing Fulham, Liverpool playing Man City. There's at least 3-4 teams there that could drop points, and you could find yourself almost in the top half of the table.
Yeah, Man City are on a 6 games without a win. 6 games without a win, 5 game losing streak, and then they obviously got that draw against Feyenoord. So God knows what they show up. Liverpool look unstoppable, like absolutely smashed Real Madrid. So you think City most likely going to drop points there. I think West Ham. I don't see West Ham beating Arsenal, to be honest with you. Like I think they's turned up against Newcastle, but Arsenal seem to be finding some sort of form again. Odegaard's back, etc. Like that. It seems to be like maybe a 2-horse race is forming in this title race. And City are sort of like, if they keep going the way they are, they're dropping off. Villa are interesting because I think they looked really, really good at the beginning of the season, and then they've started to sort of slow down a little bit. It was a 0-0 draw, wasn't it, against Juve? They didn't look great. Before that, I think they drew again as well in Champions League, and then
they won 1 in the last 5.
Yeah, there you go. So they're stalling and struggling a bit, and I think I said that when we did the season preview. I said I think the Champions League is going to affect them, and it's going to, because they're not used to doing it. They're not used to playing that. So yeah, I think this season's up for grabs, especially in that sort of 4th down to about 15th. It's all wide open, isn't it? Because there's 4 or 5 points between them. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, a couple of wins and you're in the top 5, and then a couple of losses and you're towards the relegation. Like, it's that easy. It's that simple. So yeah, I think we've just got to keep focused on getting wins, getting points on the table, and climbing that table as fast and as high as we can. I still don't see us getting top 4. I think the most realistic prospect is winning the Europa League. But if we put a load of wins together, and like you said, a couple of teams drop points, like Spurs are unpredictable. Sometimes they win, sometimes they drop points. Villa's on the slow, City, etc. You never know. Like, you never know if you put a run together, you might be able to solidify something. But I still think top 4 is probably out of reach for us.
I still feel like in order to change this team properly, you need. It's not traits necessarily that you have within the squad already. So mobility and physicality is something that I think we struggle with quite a bit. And mentality is another one as well. That's why I feel like it's going to be a longer transitional phase initially, and then when we get into the summer, we can bring in a couple of players that we need. So I'm not expecting top 4. Are you expecting top 4, Shreyas, at all? Where's your head at realistically?
At the moment, I'm not expecting even a top 5. I think 6th would be our best spot right now, considering the situation that we are in. And I just think that, over the course of the season, if you don't have, natural players playing in their natural positions, eventually you will suffer. And I'm still not sure how long Malacia is going to be able to stay fit, and how long it will actually take Malacia to, be back to his full match sharpness, because it's going to take him time. Not having, not being able to play football for 550 days, it's going to take a toll on any player. So it will take him time. Same goes for Luke Shaw. How long is he going to be available for, and how many matches will he actually be able to feature for us in? That are very important questions. And I can still see certain areas in this team where I'm a bit concerned. I'm sure Amorim will do his best to actually cover those areas somehow, but I think most of these problems will be rectified next season itself. So when you look at it, in a perspective of this season, defense, I think by the time December kicks in and Christmas time kicks in, I think it will be a much sorted defense. When it comes to the wing backs as well, I am sorted, because I think Mazraoui is in you can put him anywhere on this field pretty much. Whether it's midfield, defense, as a wing back, he'll do an exceptional job wherever he plays. And that left hand side, I think whether it's Garnacho who gets slotted in there, maybe we see someone else actually being shifted onto that position. I'm sure that it will happen. The only concern I have is that attacking front three, because I just need to see that cohesion. I just need to see that sort of coordination around the box where we see that fluidity in front of ahead of just in front of goal, which we've been struggling with for quite some time. And against Bodo Glimt as well, there were certain situations where I think that our players was just a bit confused. They didn't know when to make the run. They didn't know when to make when to make that killer ball in and when to actually look for that extra pass. So I think once we rectify those issues, we'll probably be able to look like a much better and fluid team. But it will take some time. And I guess when you look at it, in the perspective of this season, if it will take you time, it will cost you a lot of points as well.
Well, if they're still confused in a year's time and the tactics are all over the
Yeah.
place and nothing's happening, you have got your suit. You are ready, suited and booted to go and manage this team by the looks of things. You've got the red shirt on. You're good to go. So United, if you're watching, Mr. Singh is here and he's ready to be in charge. Now, some head-to-head stats for you lot. Manchester United have won 41 Premier League games against Everton, the highest tally of any side in the competition against one opponent. Sean Dyche's Everton have lost and failed to score in all 3 Premier League fixtures versus United, including a 2-0 away defeat in March when Bruno Fernandes and Rashford scored penalties. And the Toffees have won just 2 of their 32 Premier League visits to Old Trafford, most recently in 2013. So they're quite nice stats. Usually I don't put great ones in there, but they are nice.
Yeah.
There's been 26 goals scored in the Premier League matches involving United this campaign, a joint league low alongside Newcastle and Everton's matches have produced only 27 goals. So it's pretty. This is why I'm leaning towards this narrative where it's like, it feels like it's going to be a shit game.
It's never a thriller, is it, Everton United?
No.
It's never a thriller.
No. Everton have failed to score in a league high 6 fixtures, although only Liverpool and Man United have kept more clean sheets than them. And in the last 8 match rounds, Everton have let in a league low 4 goals. So don't score many, don't concede many. It's just, relatively boring under Sean Dyche, but we know
Typical
that.
Sean Dyche team.
Typical Sean Dyche. They are, to be fair to him, they are drifting away from that kind of relegation zone. The 15th in the league on 11 points. So they're doing something. They're slowly climbing up.
They've got a couple of decent players, like Dwight McNeil's playing out of his skin. Like he's playing really well. Jordan Pickford and is great dribbler. Jordan Pickford's really good. I like him. Yeah, they've got some decent players. Like they can play football like when they want to. I just think sometimes John Dyche's tactics might hold them back a little bit. But if he keeps them up, then he's going to keep his job, isn't he? So.
Do you think Everton will take confidence from that game on Thursday, Sam, watching it? Do you think they'll be looking at things? I think we can definitely exploit that. Yeah,
because you saw like with the goal where Lissandro charges out to close down that thing and there's space in behind, and you saw Malacia just get completely burnt. And depending on who we play on that left-hand side, we know Lissandro's faults playing in that left-hand channel. Like he hasn't got the speed to get that out there and cover. So depending on which sort of wing back you go with, if they're not getting back, so say it's Garnacho or say it's Malacia again, say it's Luke Shaw, these guys, Garnacho's not great at defensively. Shaw and Malacia are still coming back from fitness. Like how much have they got in the tank to do that sort of job? So I'm sure they're looking at options like that. Like we can exploit that side. I'm sure they're looking at, depending on the sort of like striker setup, I'm sure they're not too worried. Like maybe the Højlund brace sort of maybe change things a little bit, but they probably looked at our like sort of strike point over this season and gone, well, they're not going to cause that many problems because Garnacho can't score, Rashford can't score, and up until yesterday, Højlund can't score. So we don't have to worry too much. And defensively, they're quite solid a lot of the time anyway. So I think they'll probably look at it and go, we can either snatch like a 1-0 win here, or we can get a point. Like, I think that's probably what they're looking at. Like, I don't think they're coming to Old Trafford and thinking we're going to get battered. Like, which probably was the case a couple of years ago under Fergie. Anytime Everton came, like, they were probably going, how many are we going to concede? So I think, they're probably coming in with a bit confident, I would say.
Yeah, there's a couple of players I'm worried about, Shreyas. I don't know if you'd agree. Ndiaye's one of them. Calvert-Lewin, potentially, just because of his physicality and if they want to play it long and then play off the striker into the little spaces that we do leave kind of open. They're the guys I'm looking at. They're going to be licking their lips, aren't they, if they do get space? Players because I think Dwight McNeil is super underrated. Me, I don't know. Like, look at his.
I'm surprised he's not got
Yeah.
England call up. I thought he's
Mm.
with his form and stuff. Like, there's lesser players who've been called up for England. And
Yeah,
you're
yeah, absolutely. I think it's been.
I think he genuinely is very underrated. I think because of Everton's performances throughout the course of the season, it gets, he goes under the radar. But the way he actually plays, like, I think he's one of the, I would say, in that zone when it comes to creative wingers who actually put crosses into the box and try to find the striker. I think he's someone who fits into that description. And apart from that as well, looking into this game, Dwight McNeil is someone who can cause us a lot of trouble, because just like the game against Ipswich where Hutchinson was able to exploit every single half space the moment they got the ball, I think McNeil, you can say, is a better
He'll
player.
drift.
Yeah. And as an all-round overall player, he's more troublesome in comparison to someone like Hutchinson, because when it comes to McNeil on the ball, he's very good. He knows how to exploit spaces in behind, and on top of that, he's not someone who is very one-dimensional as a winger or as a 10. He's someone who knows how to work his way around the box. He knows the exact moment when he has to find a striker like Calvert-Lewin, like you mentioned, whether it's Beto who's playing up top at times, and with the winger that you mentioned as well, India. He's someone who can, when you look at that left-hand side that he'll be working with, and I think it will be Mazraoui playing in there, so we might be able to get off from it. But if he tries to, drift into those half spaces as well, and Lissandro or Delict try to charge in, trying to press, it will create a big space in behind for the winger to actually drift into. So we need to be very, very balanced. We need to be very composed as well, because when you're playing a 3-back and you try and press and then you lose the ball, it's only going to be Onana against two attackers at a point.
We can't move on from Everton until we talk about Jared Branthwaite. When you look at our left side now, and we were just literally talking about it, the physicality issues, everything that we need, I at least feel like he would fill that void. Do you guys feel like he's the perfect fit? I know we spoke about it before, and I know price can be an issue, which will obviously be up as well. But do you feel like United will go back in for him, Sam?
They're definitely on the radar. I think there's been a lot of sort of talk about it. I don't know how did we do like 3 bids last summer, or was it 2? Like, I can't remember how many. I think he'd still be on the radar, and he's clearly not happy there because he's not signed a new deal. Like, he wanted to obviously clearly move, didn't sign a new contract. So I think there's something there in it. Obviously, Everton would have to sort of lower the price. I don't see us with the financial constraints that we have going in and paying 70 odd million, whatever it is they wanted for him. We've also got Lenny Otto still to come. Like, Lenny Otto is still not in this team yet. Where does he play? Does he play in that left-hand channel instead of Lissandro? Is he going to be a rotational option there? Like, how does he fit into the team? I think that's a big sort of if on like how that defense looks next season, is how Lenny Otto fits in and how good he is. Because I think if you spend 70 million on Jared Branthwaite, he has to be your first team starter. And is he going to want to be rotated with Lenny Otto? So that's a big thing as well. But I could see us going back in for him, but I just think the money has to be right. I think 70 million is far too much.
Yes.
Yeah, I think when it comes to Branthwaite, I think in a 3-back system, he can look very good. He's someone, once again, who's very good on the ball. And, when you look at the physical aspect of his game as well, he can someone who, actually slot into the defense. I think price tag is definitely a concern, because I still don't rank him as sort of a player, who demands 70 or 75 million as a transfer fee. I think when you look at, those sort of profiles, I would rather spend it on an out-and-out striker who can actually guarantee you like 30-35 goals a season. We look at the centre-back department, like Sam mentioned as well, you've got options in Lissandro right now, you've got options in Delict and Euro. And now if Branthwaite does come in, I do understand that, because that it is a 3-back system, you want 4 or 5 fit centre backs to be in there, so that even when you rotate, the quality drop off isn't as massive. But will he be okay? Will he be happy actually, splitting minutes with another player in there? And considering, I think the areas that we need to, look into in the next summer window. Is centre back really a department where that requires that much of a fix? I think left back is definitely something, or left wing back, if you want to call it, is something that requires, quick. Genuinely, we need to act on it really, really quick, because I cannot go another season having Malasi and Shaw as the only options, playing in that left wing back position. So you need someone in there. You might need you will definitely need another midfielder as well. So that's two players already. And in the attack, if with the way things are being rumored around, that two attackers might be leaving the club next season as well, you have to get at least one player in to fit into that description. So that's three players already. Do you want to go out and then shell out like 70-75 million on Brandtwaite as a fourth player? I'm not sure if we'll have the cash for it.
Well, they certainly have the cash now. They put the ticket prices times 2. They've doubled the ticket prices, so can't say they've not got any money. On a serious note, though, who the ones to watch for you guys in this one? So for Man United and Everton, one player each. Sam, kick us off.
The temptation is the same as Mazraoui again, isn't it? But
yeah,
we'll move past that.
Not allowed to say Mazraoui.
He's class every game. Every game
he's a given.
Ridiculous. I think Rasmus is one to watch. I'm hoping because we know he's a streaky player. Like he goes on these sort of like run of games where he'll score goals. Got 2 really good goals yesterday, so hopefully he continues that into the Everton game and gets a goal or 2. That would be really nice. For Everton, again, you can't look past Dwight McNeil. I think he's the guy in form. Really, really sort of knows what Everton are about, plays exactly what Sean Dyche wants from him. And obviously, the away goalkeeper at Old Trafford is always the best keeper on the planet, isn't he? He always has a fucking worldie at Old Trafford. So I can see Pickford having a fantastic game and just pulling off ridiculous saves and saving stuff he has no right to be getting hold of. I can see that happening in my head. So that could well be another one to watch.
Shreyas.
I think for us, Mount will be someone to look at if he starts. Apart from that, Højlund for sure. I think, like Sam mentioned as well, when he starts scoring, he goes on a run of like 7 to 8 games. He did that last year as well. We might be seeing that happen again this season. And I'd say Ugarte. I think Ugarte looked very decent in that game against Bodo as well. So I think if he might be able to capitalize on it and get some momentum in. So for me, for United, Ugarte, Højlund would be the ones to watch out for. And if Mount plays Mount, for them, I think Dwight McNeil will be someone to look at. I think Dwight McNeil will be causing a lot of trouble to their centre back department tomorrow. And we need if you don't lock him down, we might be conceding goals.
I think I agree with Rasmus because I think he does go on those kind of spells. So I definitely put him up there. But I think for Everton, I think that Ndiaye, tricky player, man. He carries the ball so well. He can beat like 2-3 guys easily. So he's definitely someone to keep an eye on. Those kind of dribbling cutbacks, I can see that phase happening.
We love a cutback as well, don't we? We fucking love a cutback.
We definitely do. Right, 5 quick fire questions, lads. Just a simple yes or no answer or one word answer. Will both teams score?
No.
Yeah.
Would any Everton players get in our team?
Maybe Ndiaye, he might get in.
Yeah.
Over a Garnacho or Ahmad or Rashford?
Over Rashford, definitely.
Over Rashford. Yeah.
Wow. Strong. Biggest worry in this game?
Conceding goals.
Losing.
Where would you rank Sean Dyche as a manager?
He's above relegation fodder. I would say he's like anywhere from like 10th to like 14th.
He's a mid-table manager.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. Prediction for man of the match?
Can't say that name.
Can't say him.
No. Nope, not that.
I really don't want to say Onana either because that means we've had a shocking
game.
Yeah,
those are the two names. We know they're going to be performing well.
Yeah. Let's go De Ligt. I want him to have a good game.
Okay.
I'll go Martinez.
So our defenders, all of our defenders, you didn't go for Mazraoui or Onana.
You won't let me say Mazraoui. Like I can't say Mazraoui. Yeah.
We need an attacker though. We can't have a defender. I mean, it's your opinion, so it's absolutely fine.
You pick an attacker then. You pick someone.
Mount.
There you go.
I got Mount. Yeah.
There you go.
All three of our players need confidence.
Yes.
Random guys taking the piss by saying Anthony.
Yeah. Steph also saying as well, Ugarte, Rashford starting over Hoyland. No, can't.
No.
Nope.
Surely not.
Can't be doing that.
Ahmad to return on Sunday. Everton always raise their game against us. Another Branthwaite audition. Maguire, Lindelof swap deal. I actually think Maguire could be really good in this system.
The central
As
the
a
central
centerpiece,
one.
Yeah, I think he'll surprise quite a lot of people. Or maybe not surprise. I don't know. Maybe people think he will do well. Right, predicted 11s, fellas. What are we going with? Are we going with a similar back line? Onana, Majari, De Ligt, Lissandro? Or any changes, tweaks? Because I feel like there will be, but I'm just like, I don't know who.
Maybe Shaw. Maybe Shaw.
Maybe Shaw. Exactly. Yep.
Start though.
Yeah, I think because he took Lissandro off at what, like 58 minutes or something. He took him off quite early, so maybe they do the other way around. They put Shaw in for 60 minutes and then Lissandro comes on.
Yeah.
Maybe they do that. I could see Shaw coming in, and I think Dallo comes back in as well. I think Dallo comes back in.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Ahmad goes back over to right wing back as well. Ugarte and Bruno.
And Ahmad will definitely be back. Dallo and Ahmad will definitely be back.
Yeah, Ugarte, Bruno. And then I think Mount.
I think Ugarte, Casemiro. I think it will be Ugarte, Casemiro.
Okay.
And then I think
so
Mount,
you think... Go on.
Mount, Garnacho, Hoyland.
Yeah, that's what I think. Shreyas?
I think he's going to pick Ugarte and Casemiro, because I think when you come up against a team like Everton, you need as much physicality as you possibly can. And having Bruno in that 6 against a team like Everton, he might struggle. So I think it might be Garnacho alongside Bruno with Hoyland up top. Maybe Mount comes on as a sub, or Garnacho gets started on the bench. But I think he'll look to have Casemiro in this team.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. We've not gone for loads of tweaks there, though, have we? I mean, like 2 or 3 between us, I'd probably say. Is Maguire fit? I don't know. I don't think
training.
So.
He's training, but he's not been on the bench, so I don't know how fit he is.
I'm not sure. We'll see. He's not like we desperately need him anyway, is it? With all due respect. Right, I'm going to kick things off with a score prediction. Are you ready, fellas?
Go on.
Yep.
0-0.
Jesus Christ. I thought mine was depressing, but you've proper like lowered the bar now.
It's going to be a horrible game.
I have gone 1-1.
Okay.
I think it's going to be shit.
Shreyas?
I think it will be 2-0.
Just to clarify, to United.
Yeah, to United. Everton somehow, even when we are playing really bad, they still somehow lose to us.
Yeah,
I've been seeing it happen for quite a few seasons.
Yeah, do you remember that?
You never know, maybe.
Goodison Park. Yeah, with Martial and is it Cavani?
Pink kit we went with.
Yeah.
Wait. Cavani and I thought you were talking about the Lukaku one where we lost like 4-1 or something.
No. So we were playing like shit, and Everton were really good. And
then
we beat them.
It was Bruno, Cavani, and Martial playing.
They scored, and we looked like we were shit all the way up to it, and then somehow got a result out. I think it was like 4-3.
I think we just got out of the Champions League to the Europa League that season. Yeah. Then we came up against Everton.
Go over United's life, mate. Yeah. Fucking look shit, but somehow we get a win.
Does Garnacho score another bicycle?
Oh my god!
Oh my god! I forgot about that. How have I not brought that up during this preview? What a goal! And that's just nominated for a Puskas Award, isn't it?
Yeah.
That goal. But Dallo's got a left wing back. So it'll have to be Ahmad who puts it in for him, potentially.
Maybe.
I don't care. Whoever puts it in, it's fine. Just fuck it. Mazraoui, put a bet on. Mazraoui scored bicycle kick. There you go.
Yeah. Crazy. I couldn't believe that. And this time to do it at Old Trafford as well.
Yeah.
Genuine question. Would Anthony be any better on the left? I disagree. Because I think he's so predictable on that left-hand side. I just don't see it personally.
Is he capable of crossing the ball? Because, honest to God,
that's another question.
I've never seen him do it.
No.
The thing is, he is capable of crossing the ball. He just never does it at all. He's capable of even using his right foot. I've seen him score with it as well, but he just never does it for some reason.
No.
Every time.
Even against Bodo, he did it, didn't he?
Every time he's on it, and then he just go, like, you've got all this space down the byline, and the fullback knows he's not going there. So just squares him up, and he just goes, okay, onto my left, and then you're like, for fucking...
It's come off once in 2 seasons when he did it
Yeah.
against Chelsea, and it was a really good cross as well,
Yeah.
the outside of his foot. But apart from that, it's to be honest with you, when I watched Anthony's, I didn't hate it too much. I didn't think he was awful. It was just like I think you just know he's going to be a rotational player. He's not going to be a starter because you look at the performances of Ahmad and Mashrawi and these guys. He's nowhere near that at the minute. Yeah. Absolutely nowhere near it. No. Barefoot Dreams say no change in defence. Dallo at left wing back. Ahmad at right wing back. Garner and Rashi behind Rasmus. United 3-1. I like that prediction. Charlie saying 25% chance that Maguire and Evans will be fit. Yoro won't be back until the 7th. Yeah, Yoro, I think he was kind of penciling the Arsenal game as one to potentially be fit for. I don't know. I expected him back for Ipswich. I thought he'd at least get some minutes.
Well, he was training, wasn't he? And then they said he wasn't training, but he said he was just working on his fitness. So I don't know what's happened.
Look, as long as they're not rushing him back and they're clearly dealing with it in a delicate kind of manner, then that's absolutely fine. Yeah. Connor Atkinson in the chat, pick up Connor, saying Anthony just needs to get sold and replace him with a left back. Yeah, look, there's nothing we can do at the moment, and I doubt United are going to do any business in January either. So it's kind of, hold on to what we've got, try and prove them, and see in the summer. But yeah, that starts with Everton at the weekend. So yeah, get anyone who is watching this later, get your score predictions in the comments section and let us know your starting 11 as well. Keep an eye out for Premier League predictions, which will be dropping in around 2 hours' time. Just me on that this week. It's a quick 8-minute video, very easy to watch. All the predictions in line ahead of the games this weekend because there are some exciting fixtures. We're also going to have some stuff dropping tomorrow, and then obviously we've got all the pre-match and post-match stuff with Everton as well. So please do hit that subscribe button. How many subs are you on at the moment, Sam? Because I can't see the sub count.
8,553.
Right, cool. Yeah. So I can't do that math off the top of my head. Was that 1,447? Is that right?
447. 1,447.
Yeah. That's right, isn't it? Sounds right either way. That's how many we are off subscribers. So if you are new, hit that subscribe button, smash the like on the video. Me, Sam, and Shreyas will see you guys in the next one, and hopefully everyone has a really nice weekend. Take it easy, guys.